Shalom, Lakem, Kal Yeshua. Oh, sorry. How's your peace, Israel? Welcome back to another video. And we're in Devarim. We're still in chapter 31. We started it. It kind of cut off from the last video. And we're going to continue. So we're in Devarim, chapter 31. Asafar, the book. We're in verse 3. And it reads on this wise. It says, the Lord your God himself will go over before you. He will destroy these nations before you, so that you shall dispossess them. And Joshua will go over at your head, as the Lord has spoken, and the Lord will do to them as he did to Sihon and Og, the kings of the Amorites, and to their land, when he destroyed them. And the Lord will give them over to you, and you shall do to them according to the whole commandment that I have commanded you. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Then Moses summoned Joshua and said to him in the sight of all of Israel, be strong and courageous, for you shall go with his people into the land that the Lord has sworn to their fathers to give them, and you shall put them in possession of it. It is the Lord who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed. Context is the reading of the law. It says, then Moses wrote to this law and gave it to the priests, the sons of Levi, who carried out the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and to all the elders of Israel. And Moses commanded them at the end of every 7 years, at the same time in the year of release, at the feast of booths, which is Feast of Tabernacles or Feast of Ingathering, sort of thing, before the Lord your God at the place that he will choose. You shall read the law before all Israel in their hearing. Okay, so this is something that, if we're in the land, we'd obviously, this is something that we do before Mount Zion. If we were all camping out in front of, the tabernacle, we would read the book of the law in front of all the assembly. Some of these things that we can do, if it's dealing with the Levitical priesthood, it's obviously a difficult thing to do because we don't have the high priest per se, but we know that Hamashiach is that high priest, so he is gonna, he's going to deal with all the ordinances of the priesthood is going to be spiritual rather than literal. You get what I'm saying? So assemble the people. Yeah, it says assemble the people, the people, men, women, and little ones, and the sojourner within your towns, that they may hear and learn to fear the Lord your God, and be careful to do all the words. All the words of this law, and that their children who have not known it may hear and learn to fear the Lord your God, as long as you live in the land that you are going over the Jordan to possess. And the context here says Joshua's commission to lead Israel. It says, and as the Lord said to Moses, behold, the days approach when you must die. Call Joshua, presenting himself in the tent of the meeting, that I may commission him. And Moses and Joshua went and presented themselves in the tent of the meeting. And the Lord appeared in the tent in a pillar of cloud, and the pillar of cloud stood over the entrance of the tent. And the Lord said to Moses, behold, you are about to lie down with your fathers. Then this people will rise and whore after the foreign gods among them in the land that they are entering, and they will forsake me and break my covenant that I have made with them. Then my anger will be kindled against them in that day, and I'll forsake them and hide my face from them, and they will be devoured. And many evils and troubles will come upon them, so that they will say in that day, have not these evils come upon us because our God is not among us? And I will surely hide my face in that day because of all the evil that they have done, because they have turned to other gods. Now therefore write this song and teach it to the people of Israel. Put it in their mouths, that this song may be a witness for me against the people of Israel. When I have brought them into the land flowing with milk and honey, which I swore to give to their fathers, and they have eaten and are full and grown fat, they will turn to other gods and serve them, and despise me and break my covenant. And when many evils and troubles have come upon me, this song shall confront them as a witness, for it will live unforgotten in the mouths of their offspring. For I know what they are inclined to do, even today, before I have brought them into the land that I swore to give. So Moses wrote this song the same day and taught it to the people of Israel. Okay, it says, and the Lord commissioned Joshua the son of Nun and said, "But be strong and courageous, for you shall bring the people of Israel into the land that I swore to give them. I will be with you." When Moses had finished writing the words of the law in a book to the very end, Moses commanded the Levites who carried the ark of the covenant of the Lord, "Take this book of the law and put it by the side of the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, that it may be there for a witness against you. For I know you're rebellious I know how rebellious and stubborn you are. Behold, even today, while I am yet alive with you, you have been rebellious against the Lord. How much more after my death? Assemble to me all the elders of your tribe and your officers, that I may speak these words in their ears, and call heaven and earth to witness against them. For I know that after my death you will surely act corruptly, and turn aside from the way that I commanded you. And in the days to come, evil will before you. Will before you, because you will do what is evil in the sight of the Lord, provoking him to anger throughout the work of your hands. Okay, we're going to go to the next chapter, 32. Okay, and the concept is the songs. Well, we're actually not in the next chapter. Songs of Moses is the context. It says, "Then Moses spoke to the words of this song until they were finished in the ears of all Israel, the assembly of Israel." Okay, now we get to chapter 32. It says, "Give ear, O heavens, and I will speak, and let the earth hear the words of my mouth. May my teaching drop as the rain, my speech distill the dew. Let gentle let gentle rain upon the tender grass, and like showers upon the herb. For I will proclaim the name of the Lord, ascribe greatness to our God. The rock, his work is perfect, for all his ways are justice. A God of faithfulness and without iniquity, just and upright is he. They have dealt corruptly with him. They are no longer his children because they are blemished. They are a crooked and twisted generation. Do you thus repay the Lord, you foolish and senseless people? Is not he your father who created you, who made you and established you? Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask your father, and he shall show you, your elders, and he will tell you. When the Most High gave to the nations their inheritance, when he divided mankind, he fixed the borders of the peoples, according to the number of the sons of God. But the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is allotted heritage. He found him in the desert and in the howling waste of the wilderness. He encircled him and he cared for him. He kept him as the apple of his eye, like an eagle that stirs up its nest, that flutters over its young, spreading out its wings, catching them, bearing them on its pinions. The Lord alone guided him. No foreign God was with him. He made him ride on the high places of the land. He ate the produce of the field. He suckled him with honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinty rock, curds from the herd, and milk from the flock, with fat of lambs, rams of Bashan, and goats, with the very finest of the wheat. And you drank foaming wine made from the blood of the grape. But Yasharon grew fat and kicked you, and kicked kicked. You grew fat, stout, and sleek. Then he forsook God who made him. He scoffed at the rock of his salvation. Okay. They stirred him to jealousy with strange gods. With abominations they provoked him to anger. They sacrificed to demons that were no gods, to gods that they had never known, to new gods that had come recently, whom your fathers had never dreaded. You were unmindful of the rock that bore you, and you forgot God who gave you birth. The Lord saw it and spurned them because of the procreation of his sons and daughters, and he said, I will hide my face from them, and I'll see what their end will be, for they are a perverse generation, children in whom is not faithfulness. They have made me jealous with what is no God. They have provoked me to anger with their idols. So I will make them jealous with those people, those who are no people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. For a fire is kindled by my anger, and it burns to the depths of Sheol, devours the earth and its increase, and sets on fire the foundations of the mountain. I will heap disasters upon them. I will spend my arrows on them. They shall be wasted with hunger and devoured by plague and poisonous pestilence. I will send the teeth of beasts against them, the venom of things that crawl in the dust. Outwards the sword shall bereave, and indoors terror for a young man and woman alike, the nursing child with the man of grey hairs. I would have said, I will cut them to pieces, I will wipe them from human memory, had I not feared provocation by the enemy, lest their adversaries should misunderstand, lest they should say, Our hand is triumphant. It was not the Lord who did all this. For they are a nation void of counsel, and there is no understanding in them. If were wise, they would understand, they would discern the latter end. How could one have chased 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight, unless their rock had sold them and the Lord had given them up? For their rock is not as of our rock, and our enemies are by themselves. For their vine comes from the vine of Sodom, and from the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of poison. Their clusters are bitter. Their wine is the poison of serpents, and the cruel venom of asps. Is not this laid up in store with me, sealed up in my treasuries? Vengeance is mine, and recompense for the time when their foot shall slip. For the day of their calamity is at hand, and their doom comes swiftly. For the Lord will vindicate his people and have compassion on his servants. When he sees that their power is gone and there's nothing remaining, bond or free, then he will say, Where are their gods, the rock in which they took refuge? Who ate who ate the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their drink offerings? Let them rise up and help you. Let them be your protection. Sorry. See now even I, am He, and there's no God beside me. I kill and make alive, I wound and I heal, and there's none that can deliver out of my hand. For I uplift my hand to the heaven, and swear as I live forever. If I sharpen my flashing sword, and my hand takes hold on judgment, I will take vengeance on my adversaries, and will repay those who hate me. I will make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, and with blood of the slain and the captives from the long heads of the enemy. Rejoice with him. Sorry. Rejoice with him, O heavens. Bow down to him, all gods. For he avenges the blood of his children, and take vengeance on his adversaries. He repays those who hate him, and cleanses his people's land. Moses came and recited all the words of this song in the hearing of the people. He and it says Joshua here, but he could have said Yahushua, the son of Nun. And when Moses had finished speaking all these words to all Israel, he said to them, Take to heart all the words by which I am warning you today, that you may command them to your children, that they may be careful to do all the words of this law. For it is no empty word for you, but your very life, and by this word you shall live long in the land that you are going over the Jordan to possess. Context is Moses' death foretold. It says, that very day the Lord spoke to Moses, go up to this mountain of Abarim, Mount Nebo, which is in the land of Moab, opposite Jericho, and view the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the people of Israel for a possession. And die on the mountain which you go up, and be gathered to your people, as Aaron your brother died in the Mount Hor, and was gathered to his people, because you broke faith with me in the midst of the people of Israel at the waters of Meribah, Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin. And because you did not treat me as holy in the midst of the people of Israel, for you shall see the land before you, but you shall not go there into the land that I am giving to the people of Israel. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I only hope to listen and the readers this word will be edified by what we're doing here. We're trying to read cover to cover. We're trying to, these are archives, the book of the archives of like things that we should really be listening to and reading so that we can have them seared on the tablets of our heart. So we don't have to go into these scriptures and have to read, right? We just know these. And I'm mainly dealing with the Torah, but I'm actually going to continue reading through to Joshua and the other books. Just to encourage those that they should do the same. So may Yahweh bless you, may Yahweh keep you, may Yahweh shine his face upon you, may Yahweh be gracious to you, may Yahweh lift up his countenance upon you, and may Yahweh grant you everlasting peace in Yeshua HaMashiach's name I pray. Selah.